Thank you for downloading this in-ear entertainment podcast. You're listening to Shakespeare's Sonnets. Sonnet number 12. When I do count the clock that tells the time, and see the brave day sunk in hideous night, when I behold the violet past prime, and sable curls all silvered over with white, when lofty trees I see barren of leaves, which erst from heat did canopy the herd, and summer's green all girded up in sheaves, borne on the bier with white and bristly beard. Then of thy beauty do I question make, that thou amongst the wastes of time must go, since sweets and beauties do themselves forsake, and die as fast as they see others grow. And nothing gainst time's scythe can make defence, save breathe, to brave him when it takes thee hence. That was sonnet number 12. I'm apologising again. That's 4 in a row I've had to apologise for, and I'm very, very sorry. It's been a painkiller night, and it's muddled my tongue, is what I'm saying. But that's sonnet number 12 from Shakespeare's Sonnets. I'm Mark Chatterley.
I am Thierry Heles.
See, I didn't call you wonderful or talented that time.
I will never forgive you, Mark. Never.
Sorry. This was sonnet number 12. I think at least the most interesting thing to me about this sonnet, other than it's quite hard to read, is that it's all one sentence. There's only one full stop, which is right at the end. There's quite a few semicolons in there, but it's quite... I think that adds to the reason it's quite hard to read, because there's no natural stopping point. The structure of the poem doesn't lend itself to your brain being able to intuit where there's a nice space for a breath coming up. At least that's going to be my excuse for this episode.
So I take it you've never read, what's it called in English? In Search of Times Lost? Marcel Proust?
No.
That guy is famous for just... I'm not sure how it is in English, but in French, his sentences go on for pages. He has entire chapters that are like one sentence. It's insane.
Wow, that's
yeah,
very good ability to write.
It's just very annoying to read, because then you have to go back several... You get to the end of the sentence, you go, I've completely forgotten what the subject of this phrase is. It's like,
where was the verb?
Yes.
And in French, where the structure of French is slightly less predictable than English, I believe, isn't it? With subjects and objects and verbs? I'm going to defer to your knowledge on language here.
I mean, they do have very fixed grammar rules, but yeah, with sub clauses and that sort of stuff, it can get a bit complicated. It's worse in Latin, where you can put the most words anywhere in the sentence. The order doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's a crazy, crazy language. My other half has studied it and can translate bits and pieces of it, and I just look at it going, that's crazy.
I had to do it for 4 years in school, and it just, yeah.
See, this for listeners, this is why Thierry is doing this for me, because he's intelligent.
I just had not luck, or just the coincidence of just the school system I was put through
is better than ours. Although ours is fairly good on a worldwide scale. It's not atrocious.
Yeah, there's quite a few countries that are doing a lot worse.
Yeah, exactly. So sonnet number 12. Let's go back to sonnet number 12. This has got I like. There's a nice couplet in here which I really like, which is the last one. And nothing gainst time's scythe can make defence save breed, to brave him when he takes thee hence. The idea that time's scythe is going to get us, it's going to kill us all, and nothing can stop it save breeding. And it's quite funny when you misread this sonnet and you get to the end, like I did on one of my rehearsals, and nothing gainst time's scythe can make defence save bread, and you get utterly confused until you realise there's a double E in there, and realise it's breed. You imagine someone with
it's
a baguette.
all the same.
It's all the same. Someone defending against time with a baguette is the image I had in my head. But I think that's a wonderful phrase, and it's one of the ones I think it's a shame we don't use more often. Nothing against time's scythe can make defence save breed. But it does have that odd undertone of have children is the only way to stay alive. Everything else is worthless bar having children, which I disagree with, but that's
It's sort of weird because, I mean, no one even knows if this other person existed, but Shakespeare's poetry and his plays have survived him by several centuries.
Yes. If they could find out who it was and then trace his line down and go, you are, because Shakespeare believed every male child would be the person, and go up to whoever it was nowadays and go, you are the person these sonnets are about, that would be quite a creepy thing to learn.
That would be quite weird.
And then you could trace Shakespeare's descendants and go, you wrote these creepy poems to this person. That would be very weird. That freaks you out. Speechless.
Yeah.
Sorry. What do you feel about this poem? Yeah, I'll let you chat.
Well, I think what you notice first about this one is time that pops up for the first time, and then obviously you have 12. It's significant that it's 12 to 12 hours, because we have we're jumping quite far ahead now. Sonnet 16.
Wow,
6T, sorry, 60 is about time again.
Okay.
And that talks about minutes.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So he does. I'm not sure about whether there's other poems in it that go on about time in the same sort of 24 hours, 12 hours, 60 minutes sort of thing. But he does definitely create an image here that will pop out months or however far away we are from
from 60.
From 60, yeah.
So yeah, these haven't been randomly written and numbered then. He's thought about the sequence.
He has actually thought, yeah.
We had that question a couple of podcasts ago when I was wondering whether they'd been put into sequence and numbered, or whether he had put them into sequence and numbered. So it looks like it's definitely Shakespeare.
At least 12 and 60, from what we know so far, are definitely in those places because they belong there.
I quite like
Which,
that.
From that, I guess we could extrapolate that the groupings sort of were decided by Shakespeare.
Yes, yeah, I think that's probably the best way of looking at it. It's more, I don't know, it seems more thoughtful if we think he's done it, I think.
Make him more the genius that people consider him.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Let's attribute anything and everything to him. Why not? The imagery of the clock, the way it's set out, at least the beginning of this is set out, is when I do count the clock that tells time and see brave day sunk in hideous night, when I behold the violet past prime, when lofty trees I see barren. It's all about inevitability or coming to the end. So the day has become night, the flower has become all gnarled and awful, the trees have lost all their leaves, all the things that make these things beautiful. The day is beautiful, the flowers are beautiful, the trees with leaves are beautiful. The beauty is being destroyed by time, and that's again, it comes back to that's what's going to happen to this young lover. Time will destroy you, and that links into the bit at the end I like, because nothing can stop time. Time is inevitable. Not quite true, as we know through modern physics, but we'll ignore that because Shakespeare didn't know that. Because
it's quite far until the Einstein came along from Shakespeare's point of view.
Yeah, and
he couldn't have anticipated. I mean, they barely had Newton figuring out the laws of physics around that sort of era.
Yes, and it would be very odd to have nothing can stop time except for travelling very, very fast. and that would be an odd way of... Shakespeare might have put it slightly differently to that.
It isn't that negative, though. Not overall, because he says... sweets and beauties do themselves forsake and die as fast as they see others grow. So it's not just that destruction that goes on. They're being replaced by new things. So the nature and the world and time, they do go on. It just it leaves the old behind, and basically the young person is becoming part of the old that's get left behind if he doesn't hurry up and has children.
But that happens at the same speed. So if he leaves
it all happens simultaneously, yeah.
So if he leaves it too late, he won't get to see his child grow into the reflection of his beauty. He will miss it out. It needs to happen at a time where he can appreciate it as well, I guess.
Yeah, don't wait until you're 38 and then have a kid and die.
Yeah.
Which would obviously cause other problems, because then no one could provide for the child. And the mother, but there was the whole... working and yeah, females didn't really have many
She could
rights.
go on the game, and that was about it.
Yeah.
Such a wonderful society.
Yeah, don't you wish we would still live in that?
All the time. Yeah. So death is in this poem again, and nature. I'm unsure whether the sweets in it. I'm not quite sure whether, since sweets and beauties do themselves forsake. So beauties I can understand in the wider context of beauties. Sweets, does that have a wider context than as a slightly tubby modern day person see it as just being yummy candy? I'm guessing that's got a wider.
I'm not sure if
context.
it's just candy. I read it as generally just sweet things, just the sweet things you have in life.
Nice things.
Which not nice things, yeah. Which doesn't necessarily mean a bowl of chocolate. It could be. I mean, nice things could be a warm bed at the end of the night.
Yes. Yes. So sweet in its widest sense of
Yeah.
Not in the sort of gnarly 1990s slang idea of that sweet being gnarly and cool and ace, but
I would definitely not have read it as that.
Shakespeare well ahead of his time. But yeah, sweet in the word.
An image of Shakespeare as a chav in my head. It's well sweet, mate.
As a 1990s with the big medallion around his neck and a
God.
skateboard. I could see him pulling that.
MC hammering away.
Yeah, he could rock that look with the parachute pants. So I need someone. Someone needs to Photoshop that image for me, please. Shakespeare as a rapper from the 90s. That would be amazing.
It's a shame we don't have actual photos from the time.
It would be genius. There's interesting. I did do a bit of reading because I tend to tell people that I don't do reading for these, and I do a little bit, not a lot, because I like the idea that these are more our interpretation of something rather than an academic study of it. But interestingly, you've got the word beard in here, bristly beard. I found out wouldn't have been pronounced beard; it would have been pronounced more like bird.
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 That's weird.
Bristly bird. So then it rhymes then with herd.
Well, that actually makes sense. Yeah.
So, because it was a stumbling block for me when I was reading it, at least, that the rhyming structure didn't seem to work and seemed to go slightly wrong. But this has it does. It's just it doesn't. We don't read it in the same way nowadays. So it's got a cool word, but there were less weird words. There's one sentence in this that if you are one sentence, it's all one sentence. One line in this which is quite hard to read, which is the fourth line, and sable curls or silvered with white, because that's where Shakespeare has tried to keep his iambic pentameter by dropping random letters as he is wont to do.
Which he does fairly often.
He does. It's just
To be
two in a
fair,
row. It's quite hard. Silvered with white. Is a really good word. But yes, sorry, I'm wittering on again. What do you think about?
Well, I have another here, just some notes I found saying that and die as fast as they see others grow. Apparently, was inspired by a Horatian poet, Horace, the Roman poet, which. Oh, it's in Latin here.
This is where you can use your
Curit
education.
anim ferox aetas ad illi, quos tibidem serit, opponat annos. Which obviously, I mean, as you would know.
Yes, as all English school children know.
Oh, there is a translation here. Swiftly the seasons sweep past, and the years which are taken from you are given to her.
Interesting.
Which I actually prefer to Shakespeare's line.
Yeah, so time is stealing from you, essentially.
Pretty much, but it's sort of the Robin Hood thing. It's not keeping it for itself. It's just
recycling.
It's recycling. Yeah, it's being passed on. Your time on Earth is running out, and it's being given to the next generation.
Yes, and you need to be part of that to continue on. And I suppose I'm becoming sadder. These sonnets aren't working in the sense that it does instill this idea that having children is a very laudable aim in life, which is an interesting well, in the modern world with the population of the world hitting 7 billion, it's something that's quite, I don't know, to me, I'm quite progressive in the sense that I feel that the population increases is actually quite a dangerous thing at the moment for humanity, and this I can see a time in the future, in the next 50, 100 years, where the opposite mentality will be around, where it will be a trying to stop people having children for the sake of humanity continuing on. So the idea of if we take the idea that this is to become immortal yourself, you have to have children, will eventually become juxtaposed with modern society trying to make humanity immortal by stopping the individual becoming immortal. If that makes any sense, if you can follow my logic.
Really, yeah, I can see. I definitely. It depends which way our society goes. I mean, there's quite a few studies that say we have enough resources on Earth to feed and let 9 billion people live here.
Yeah.
It's just the fact that we're throwing. Well, I know that the EU. I don't know about other countries or unions. They're throwing away truckloads of food every month, every year, because they want it to basically control the prices.
Yeah.
When you could just give that to poor people and feed them, and then obviously you 1,500 years. That's hopefully by that time we will have colonized other planets, or even if it's just the moon. So more space for humans to breed and live.
There's a very interesting book I've just finished. Spinning off completely from Shakespeare now, sorry. I actually listened to the audiobook called News from Gardenia by a person called Robert Llewellyn. And the idea is that someone gets transported into the future, and it's a look at a possible future for humanity, but it's a utopian future rather than a dystopian future, which makes it quite interesting. And the population of the world has dropped, but everyone provides for themselves, and it's quite a nice idea, and that solves the problem, because, like you say, there is enough resources on this planet to look after everyone. It's just not shared properly. But will it ever, if we live in this lovely capitalist society?
We've made some progress. I mean, women are allowed to vote. Gay people are allowed to get married. As disgusting as that is.
Yeah, kind of, in this country.
But, well, yeah, you're allowed to be
civil partners.
Civilized.
We can become civilized. You get married, we become civilized.
I mean, we've definitely come a long way. And if you say 1,500 years, that's... I mean, to think back 500, we still had the Crusades and slavery and no universal suffrage. There were just 1,500 years is a long time. It's also a long time to fuck up everything.
Yeah, and truly screw it all over. So I suppose from that point of view, these sonnets have a kind of a melancholy kind of aspect to them for me, because I don't see having children as being hugely laudable. As in, I don't think it should be an achievement of your lifetime.
Should definitely not be all over Facebook if you have a child.
That's a very modern problem. And so these sonnets, they grate with me slightly. But I'm enjoying going through them. And I like the phrases, like, and nothing gainst time's scythe can make defence save breed. It's a lovely idea that the only way to fight time is to pass it on. But I would like to take a slightly wider view than Shakespeare, and anything that helps humanity move forward, I think, has this same impact, at least in my mind. So producing something which entertains or moves science forward or moves your field forward, even by the smallest amount, is contributing in the same way that I think Shakespeare is saying having a child here contributes. It's the moving forward of humanity. It's the maintaining something that's beautiful. I just see it in a slightly wider sense, I think.
I think that is a very, 20th 21st, or pretty much 21st century view. Shakespeare's time, I mean, it was after the Renaissance, obviously, and they discovered America, but the idea of progress and moving forward wasn't really, it was more still about building empires and having power rather than pushing the human race forward.
And the biblical laws of go forth and multiply.
Yeah, multiply, yeah.
Which well, let's not go into religion. Me and you both have strong opinions on that, which we shall save for another day.
We'll make a podcast about that.
that I have like 2 viewers, but they really either agree with us or hate us.
Yeah.
Excellent. I shall let you read Sonnet 12, and then we shall bid goodbye to our lovely listeners.
Sonnet 12. When I do count the clock that tells the time, and see the brave day sunk in hideous night, when I behold the violet past prime, and sable curls all silvered o'er white. I don't like the apostrophes. And sable curls all silvered over with white, when lofty trees I see barren of leaves, which erst from heat did canopy the earth, and summer's green all girded up in sheaves, borne on the bier with white and bristly bird. Then of thy beauty do I question make, that thou among the wastes of time must go, since sweets and beauties do themselves forsake, and die as fast as they see others grow. And nothing gainst time scythe can make defence safe breed, to brave him when he takes thee hence.
Excellent.
Very strange to read, that one.
It is a harder one to read. That was sonnet number 12 of Shakespeare's sonnets. I've been Mark Chatterley.
I have been Thierry Heles.
And thank you very much for listening. We shall see you again for sonnet 13.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye. You've been listening to Shakespeare Sonnets with Mark Chatterley and Thierry Heles. This has been an In-Ear Entertainment podcast. To listen to other podcasts or find out more about In-Ear Entertainment, go to www.inearentertainment.com.